Here's the entire marketing game plan we're going to use for $1,000 a month. This is the same type of marketing that I do. Now I know in the beginning you're going to be doing all the work yourself. You don't have virtual assistants, you're going to have to make the calls. But the advantage is you're going to have the responsibility of making this whole thing work, okay? You don't want to outsource that in the beginning because you're not sure what kind of work the person will do, and you need to be able to teach it to somebody else. So let's talk about the lists you need to pull. First list is simply an absentee list. Absentee list just simply means that the seller has a mailing address different than the property he lives at. That gives us a clear signal that it's probably a rental property or something's going on with the property, that they've moved away. They get a tax bill for a property they no longer live in. The next is just simply vacant, okay? The seller may or may not still, have the same mailing address there, but the house has been deemed vacant for whatever reason. The algorithm believes it's vacant. The next is driving for dollars. Now, of course, I don't skip trace that. I don't pull the list. I do just skip trace the phone numbers. This is when I drive around. I take pictures of properties using Deal Machine. That's included in your $150 a month. And you're gonna be able to build a list of properties. You drive by, you see a boarded up house or you have trees falling on it. Take a picture of that property, and later on in the day, you're gonna call that property. Or be proactive, call them right there on the spot. The next is back taxes. Simply, there's tax liens, federal, state, county, for whatever reason, or even property taxes, which is a big one. On that property, there's back taxes. We don't necessarily know any other situation. Seller could definitely still live in the house. That's not a problem. But there's back taxes. I recently did a deal for a novation where it was back taxes. Seller still lived in the property, and the property was in horrible condition, one of the worst I've ever seen. But back taxes is simply, like I said, there's some sort of tax lien on the property. Next is list I pull with my cash buyers. Who's going to be buying these deals? I find all my cash buyers when I pull that. I can pull the city or a zip code or an entire county for that matter, and who's buying properties and what kind of criteria they're buying in, and that's when you're going to start reaching out to sell those deals. Quick disclaimer, once you've been in the business a while and you have a relationship with these cash buyers, ever so often I reach out to my buyers list and I ask them if they have anything for sale, and we do tons of deals on asking our cash buyers if they have something for sale. It's difficult in the beginning because there's no relationship. Once you have a relationship with those guys, you can start doing deals with them. And the next is our follow-up list. You want to make sure you always have a great follow-up list. When you're generating leads through all this, you are going to have a follow-up list of people to call back if they're on vacation or they just want to sell later or for whatever reason. Of course, we talked about putting your follow-up list on your Google Sheets and putting lots of notes. So you have the address, the guy's name, his phone number, etc. But make sure when you talk to a property owner, you put down the notes of what's going on. Just because you talk to him today, there's no way you're going to remember 3 weeks from now what the details of that property were. So go ahead and put that down.